Welcome back to part 2 of my handstand journey. If you've been following my channel, you may have noticed that in June this year, I set myself a challenge to hold a handstand for 10 seconds. I've always dabbled with handstands in the past, but I've never fully committed to a structured training block. In part 1, I focused heavily on mobility and conditioning exercises. That was a major weak point for me. I spent the entire first month building a foundation, and the most important drill during that time was doing the chest to wall handstand. Please do check out that video first before giving this one a watch. And once I felt more confident, my shoulders started to become better conditioned to supporting my own body weight, and being upside down is not as scary as I once thought. Towards the end of my previous video, I mentioned that steps 3 and 4 would be all about the kick up and balance phases. So over the last month, that's exactly what I've been doing. So let's see how my progression has been going.
That's what they say to the boys and girls, trading our lives for the old man's time.
Alright, so this stage is probably the hardest part of learning how to do a handstand. The reason I say that is because there are many ways to kick up. For most beginners, we either tend to overshoot or undershoot. What do I mean by this? When you're practicing the kick up, most people would use too much momentum, and when they go into the handstand, their feet would touch the wall, or if they're not using the wall, they would either overcommit and then they would have to belt out the handstand. The other problem is where they undershoot. This is where they don't commit enough, and usually when you kick up you would fall right back on yourself. And the key to this is finding that sweet spot of not overshooting or undershooting. A good tip for this, say if you're just standing normally, slowly lean forward against the wall. You can notice you are pressing your toes to make sure you don't hit your face on the wall, and then do the reverse. So if you come backwards, you feel like you're falling. Your heels are the ones that are pressing into the ground. The same analogy applies to your hands. That's why when you're pressing forward, or if you feel you're overcommitting, you have to press with your fingertips, and then when you feel like you're undershooting or coming backwards, you have to press with your palms. So my go-to drills to improve my kick up have been at the start of my workouts, where I do back to wall handstands. I would kick up with one foot touching the wall slightly, and then try to find that balance point, hold for 3 seconds, then come out of it. I usually do 3 sets of 5 reps, and then eventually I want to repeat this action without none of my feet touching the wall to make sure I get that kick up alignment. Another drill I do is chest to wall kick-ups. I would come off slightly off the wall, have one of my toes touching the wall, and then I lift back up and my other foot rotates, and you slowly have that nice pattern where you can feel that sweet spot, but you're still using the wall for assistance. This is still a work in progress for me. Sometimes I find that sweet spot, I can hold it, and then other times I'm still working on it. But whatever you do, make sure to bail out the handstand safely, especially when you're practicing without a wall. So the last step we have is the balance phase. Over the past few weeks, I've been doing so much chest to wall handstands. My balance is starting to become very easy for me now. Key tips that's allowed me to improve my balance over time: widen your hands, make sure you grip the floor and scrunch your fingers, and the wider your base is with your hand, the easier it is to balance. Push through tall with the shoulders, and imagine your feet are reaching as high as possible. Keep your toes pointed and your legs together. And one key tip that's allowed me to elevate my handstand journey is to focus my eye line on one specific point. So that's why when I'm approaching the kick up, I make sure to approach with my hands around shoulder width apart. My eye line is focused on one key spot. So I like to put some sort of item in the midline of my view, and with that you do not want to move your head. That's why when you approach the kick up, push through with your shoulders. Do not lose eye contact with that item, because once your head starts moving, your body will move as well. My original goal was to hold a handstand for 10 seconds. So I've been practicing these past few weeks about experimenting with handstand positions, and on one of the days this happened. So technically, I completed the challenge. But I know that people will comment that my form is still a bit of a banana back style, the fact I'm still using a wall. The most important point of this video is about progress. I'm not a handstand expert, but since starting the handstand and actually having a proper training program, I've seen so much progression throughout these recent weeks. And I know it's just going to accelerate. And above all, whenever I do handstand training, it's always at the start of my workouts, and I only do handstands for around 20 to 30 minutes. I feel whenever I approach a workout, I'd rather do this type of training at the beginning, and most importantly, I'm fresh for the workout, so I'm getting that quality work in before I fatigue gradually. I hope you enjoyed this handstand tutorial series. I'm probably gonna make another video in the next few weeks to update you on my handstand progression. I didn't realize how hard handstands were. Until you actually try it, then you know for yourself how much your body is misaligned. That's why I say try it yourself, then tell me about your progress in the comments down below about how fast or quickly you got a handstand from a complete beginner. So if you liked the video, please do give this a like and subscribe. Please do comment down below on any other drills I could actually do to improve my handstand journey. I'm always open to hearing about other people's journeys, what's allowed them to accelerate their progression. Until next time, I will share with you another update on my handstand progression, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Ciao, ciao!